When?
So I'll begin this session by saying, y'all done fucked up. A lot. In many ways. Many varied ways. First and foremost, you went hunting. Mistake number one. Mistake two was assuming that overwhelming firepower was enough. Now, to be fair, you have overwhelming firepower, and for the most part, I think every single one of you has power armor or an equivalent, which is fairly impressive, which has most so far kept you from being stampeded to death and crushed by your own now non-functioning land speeder. Which was mistake number two, bringing along a shitty land speeder when you could have just got a truck. Unfortunately, being none of you are nature biologists and you hadn't set foot outside the city yet, and apparently McLeach's idea of training and or guiding involves trial by fire, you did not realize exactly how rough the terrain could get, never mind the animals. However, you did a really good job of scraping yourselves together, tying yourselves to McLeach's much more functional ride, and doing your level best to get the fuck out of Dodge. Unfortunately, due to some terrain hazards and a particular kind of roadblock called a lot of things in the way, being creatures, you had to take a small detour into a swamp. The major swamp that is more or less along this planet's equator, or the rough equivalent. Despite McLeach's vague preference to not, with the warning that there was a bear cigar nearby, he agreed it's probably best to go around. However, once you've gone around, you've encountered two particular problems. The first and foremost was fairly obvious. It's a swamp, and McLeach is a very powerful ride, but you got really unlucky, and it's been jammed. And at the worst time, too, because you encountered one of the most dangerous creatures on the planet, and were rather unlucky in this thing in that you encountered a Bayaki. Or you think it's a Bayaki, or at least it was one Bayaki, maybe it was two. It was hard to say. Sigismund was a little too busy freaking the fuck out. However, it became very clear that regardless if it's 1, 2, or 12, there's now 6 or so more winging their way unnaturally super fast, as this swamp is very big. Like, one end to the other, you can't see much of anything, so you can't see where you came from. The tree line, I said, I believe, was 100 away, about 100 meters, give or take, and they've crossed that. Like, just move action, crossed that. One action.
Yeah, so, the nearers are 20 through 30 meters away.
Mm-hmm. So they can fly very, very fast. The only other detail that you have about them comes from Sigismund, and he's not the most trustworthy of sources right now, considering his level of freaking out. But according to him, it can dodge like gunfire fairly easily. So that is your situation. I will point out these. They're old, like putrefied is a good word to use, and you can't tell what they once were. They could be of any. They could be Imperial Guard.
Bodies down there you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just reaffirming that they're not fresh or anything like that. They're putrefied, old, and pretty common. It's a swamp, and a not very nice one.
Thus, I seem to have accidentally deleted my rogue trader stuff. Can I get a link to the Dropbox?
Oh, the PDFs?
Yeah.
Just a second.
Oh, that stuff.
Yeah, I'll forward it to him. You carry on.
Thank you. Thank you kindly. And I believe we started just as you saw that. I believe we left off just when these terrifying creatures, which I will remind you, look as their picture, and beyond just being horrifying in the usual sense, are doing something to people who look at them. Like Sigismund has screamed not to look at them a lot. Whether or not, like, you could look at them for a fair distance. I believe these things are currently 30 to 40, depending on which one you're talking about, in the air. And glancing at them out the side of your eye doesn't seem to do anything yet. So it may be a distance thing. Like, the more clearly you can see them, the worse it is. You think. Percival might know. Regardless, we begin there. You have starting initiative if you have any responsive thing you want to try. You meaning the group.
If I remember correctly, I have already been thoroughly freaked out by these things.
The people who have already had to make a save are Sigismund, who's failed every single one, I think. Oh, no, he succeeded on the last one. Des, who did not manage. I think you both just didn't see it, is the thing. You all failed your perception, which was a good thing for the closer ones. You see these, but you can't make them out too clearly. It kind of just looks like big flying bat things in the air. That seems to be the connection here. The clearer you can see it, the worse it is. So.
Yep.
All right. You all have action. At least you all get a response basically to these things arriving. Keeping in mind, currently the bushwhacker is jammed, but still functional, just stuck in the mud, and the land speeder doesn't work at all. So the gun does. The gun still works. I believe Des is mounted on it currently.
I thought
no, Sig is.
Sig wouldn't.
Yep,
Yeah.
Sig is. Yep, Sig has the better machine fiddly foodly.
Lacking any access to clerical domain powers or anything, I have a gun. I'd like to shoot at the things that are closing upon us.
Fair enough. With what gun and which one?
I'm going to stick to the rifle for now.
Rifle it is. Which Byakuya? They're numbered.
I shall start with number 9.
Mumble number 9.
I'm going to throw you out of a high, just something high, just throw. There we go. And Mumbo number 9.
Yep, I am trying to reopen my impersonate tab. Because I don't use it for the other campaign. There we go. Alright, ballistic skill is 50, and I don't suffer range penalties stronger than long.
Ballistic skill was what?
50.
What's the overall range on your weapon, too? Because it might be within half.
150 meters, so this is inside.
He could have pecked them from the tree line.
Yeah, I know, but he gets bonuses, so.
This is true. But he's at half range. He doesn't suffer penalties for long. Unless you got some sort of thing that give you an advantage here, you miss.
Well, what I do have is 3 a day fate, and I believe I can use them to reroll, yes?
Correct, if you would like to use a fate point for that, yes. 50 what?
Yep.
Yeah, alright. Well, you're the first one shooting at it, so there's no reason not to. I'm gonna roll this privately, even though it doesn't involve you. It's just, I can't give it away.
Mm-hmm. It has a plus 70 bonus to dodge checks versus firearms.
Okay, it's not that good, but but it does, however, it's really hard to see from this distance, even with your rifle's scope. I presume you have one. Of course you do at that range. Regardless, it doesn't seem to dodge in the natural sense. It seems to just kind of like scoot. Like it just doesn't seem to do any movements or roll or anything. It just 1 second you're shooting where it is. Next second it just decides I'm going to be about 2 feet over here, and you just miss.
Okay. Gone. In that case, because I don't have any reason to know better.
Well, I'm going to allow you to make a combination perception and, in your case, intelligence, because you don't have any knowledges that would pertain to this. So perception and intelligence, just to see if you can work it out.
All right, int of 60.
You are not that smart, unfortunately.
Yep. Shooting at it with the rifle is only a half
action. Yep.
I am going, because I don't know any better, I am going to use the other half action, now that it's well within Auspec's range, to give it a good study with my augur array eye and see if I can figure out why it seemed to just teleport over a short distance.
Well, it's not an illusion or anything like caused by some sort of gas effect, which was your initial presumption. It's definitely organic, you suppose, but it's not an organic you're used to seeing. You've seen Kroot before, being a Tau. This looks like one particular Kroot you saw once upon a time, one who had eaten a great deal of strange alien space creatures. So he didn't look very much like a Kroot.
Yeah.
Essentially, if you had to, this is something that lives not normally in this kind of environment. This creature might exist in like a low gravity environment or a world that isn't normally full of life like this. This is a creature that lives somewhere drastically different from where it's currently located. We're talking a place that is like growing crystals and spires made of glass nonsense. This thing, This thing is wrong and possibly in the mutated sense.
All right. And
More than that, you're not a doctor. That's about it.
Can I roll tech use to see if I can glean anything that might be useful in shooting or dealing with these things as part of this?
I will allow that, actually, yes.
That's versus 60.
All right. It indicates that normally, assuming this thing flies the way you think it flies, due to the skeletal structure of it, it's going to be difficult as hell to hit, regardless of how it moves. But your best bet is to aim for the torso as much as possible, the center thing, because it has such little meat on its bones. Any damage to the spine, any way, shape, or form, should cause this thing to flop out of the sky immediately.
So they look brittle.
Yeah, you're pretty sure a good shot. If this thing is at all how it looks, like if it's at all works by logic, a good shot should put them down immediately.
In that case, I shout, "Use rapid fire!" And that's my turn.
Fair enough. Whoever wants to go next can go next. I'm not too concerned. We'll roll initiative once you've all acted, essentially.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go then.
Do as thou will.
Let's see. Can you stack a called shot with other firing methods?
Yeah, except ones that improve your ability to... Actually, no, yeah, you can go called shot with any method you want. It's just your penalties, dude.
Okay, well, I have sharpshooter, so there is no penalty.
Yay for you. Here's a cookie.
So yeah, she's gonna do... well,
yeah, called shot is just you aiming for a specific body type. There's nothing that says I can't shoot at your chest while using a machine gun. So yeah, you're
right.
Good.
So yeah, it's gonna be a semi-auto burst with 2 weapons.
Oh lord. Just tell me who you're hitting.
Same one that's already hopefully dodged. So 9.
Fair enough. That's a fair assessment.
That'll hit.
Both of those hit.
I will be right back. Gotta handle something.
Okay.
What is your actually what you suffer no penalty for called shot, you said?
Yeah, I've taken 2 talents.
Gotcha.
Deadeye shot reduces it by -10. Sharpshooter reduces it by -20. And then basically negating it.
Gotcha. So how many degrees have you got there?
On the first one, all of them, because I have a plus right now because it's let's see, +10, so that's versus 70.
Yep.
On the second one, I don't think I have 2 degrees, so it doesn't do any extra shots.
What's the internet rule? If we can't raise him on Facebook Messenger in 7 minutes, we can declare him officially dead and take his stuff.
Cool. So we all win, and we get something like 2,000 experience, right?
Probably. I wonder how many of my 30-odd subscribers I could lose all at once if I kicked off a round of the song that never ends.
This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever, just because this is
All right,
the
I suddenly have
song
something I need to
that
do. Bye.
doesn't end.
What, you're not going to join in?
I wouldn't submit anyone to my singing voice.
Nonsense. The worse your singing voice is, the better the song works. That's how it works. I'm guessing that as a kid you were not subjected to Lamb Chop's play along.
No.
Just a sec.
Oh, I've been doing run wrong. There's a table for it instead of it being a flat multiplier.
Okay, back.
I also forgot. I actually have. God. So when I'm firing semi-auto, it's actually versus 80 in this situation.
Oh,
Oh,
your run speed is actually 6 times your movement, not 3 times. Good to know.
That's quite a difference.
I wish I'd known that a few permanent wounds ago.
Yeah, there's a table for it. Table 930, structured time movement.
Have to self-bookmark that.
But it works out to just being 6 times anyway, so I don't know why they wrote up a whole table instead of just saying that. I have to extrapolate it because my speed actually goes off the table.
Yep.
That's good. That means at a full run I can get 60, so I'm going to run towards my land speeder and see you guys later. I have to make piloting skill checks every round, but whatever. I have a little under a 50% chance of success. Should be good.
You know, with the exception of my broken-ass fellowship-based skills and our main offensive members' combat skills. I am amazed anyone in this game system makes it out of their first couple ranks.
Well, if you do, you earned it.
Yeah.
And there's a reason it's so easy to make a new character.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a game system where everybody dies all the time, at least make it easy to make new guys.
Yeah.
Whatever that pirate game Suni was talking about just sounds awful. Can take up to 3 hours to make a character, and you can die within 2 minutes of starting the game up.
Yeah, that's just unreasonable. Can't wait till my Planet Mercenary books get here.
Not familiar.
I wonder if Captain Planet has an official RPG.
But isn't that Mutants and Masterminds?
Well, Mutants and Masterminds can be used for it.
I like to believe Captain Planet's actually canon for that universe.
I believe that depends entirely on how lenient Ian is.
Well, he's allowed the rings.
He allowed my backstory, which heavily relied on Captain Planet.
Yeah, well, he allowed mine, which heavily depends upon Google and Apple turning into city-states.
Everything's legal. Everything exists.
Pretty much. I made
Apologies.
up Shadowrun in the future, so...
Apologies
Welcome
about
back.
that. Yeah, okay, so you shot at something, correct? Number
yeah,
9?
it's versus, I just realized, 80.
Fuck you.
Tied.
I was gonna try.
So all his extra shots on one gun and one extra shot on the other.
So let's see, how many shots is that? If someone could tell me, because I need to know how many times this fucker has to roll. Probably all the time, so...
Okay, there wasn't an RPG, but there was a ridiculous board game.
That'll be 6 shots.
Oh my god. Okay, excuse me a sec.
I'm assuming this isn't, like, default dodge, otherwise they would have spent it. And max get 2.
Well,
so.
they got a thing going on.
Yeah, they got special things.
Well, okay, you said 6 total?
Yeah, one
That
initial,
is 3 hits. 3 hits, yep. Where were you aiming?
Torso.
Okay, I need to check this thing to see how it can handle that. Probably not well.
20, 47, and 65 total.
Jesus Christ. You got enough DACA there, son.
What do you want? That's my purpose.
I want more DACA, actually.
Yeah,
Well,
they're only pistols.
The one source of it has just opened fire, so...
Yeah, this is your only source within this party, fair enough.
I mean, maybe Ian will get... Sigismund will get that... would get the turret on the nose of the skimmer online, but...
Yeah.
I mean, she's the bodyguard. This is what
I was
you're
going to calculate.
probably paying her for.
There's a lot of background shit going on. Let's go with that. These things are weird. I made them, but they're still weird. Okay, so you open up on this thing, and though it manages to not be in the exact position you hoped for, you can compensate a lot faster than the Tau ever could hope to. So even as that thing unnaturally jerks, you like see it coming and just follow it. Just jerk your pistol and just start unloading this thing. It takes those shots and Well, you think its wings fall to the ground. You're not sure much else does. So it's you think it's dead. Really dead. A lot dead. Overwhelmingly dead.
Well, they can die. Now there's just 6 more? 7 more?
That's comforting. Next.
Brad.
I'm going to run for it. So, first is my.
To be clear, these things are really fast, and you can tell that.
And this mud is thick, at least.
Even
at
if you can
least
ignore
deep
the
enough to
mud,
get-
it can go like you're pretty sure this can keep pace with. I don't know what's a good example.
Well, I mean, it's a concern for him, not these things.
Well, no, but he has the hoverboard.
Yeah, I'm saying even if he can
right.
ignore the goop, it's still a concern these things might be as fast as him, if not faster. You haven't seen their full speed to gauge, but considering it took them one action to get here, that's like
to be
100
fair,
meters.
In character, we don't know where they were before they got here.
This is true.
And either way, I am going to take my chances and hope they go after the lump instead of me. So.
Yeah, there is something to be said about leaving behind the tasty bounty and just fucking off on your own.
Yeah, I'm going to try to fly off as fast as I can in the direction of my ship, since they're coming at full speed in land speeder mode.
Yep, they're going as fast as they're able. Which mostly means sort of fast, because if they go full speed, the pilot will hit every tree on the way there.
Don't worry, we can buff it up.
Buff it out. Yes, that'll work out.
So first, my piloting personal to make sure I don't fall over when I try to fly away. My skill actually is 42, so that should be good.
Yeah, if your skill is on the dot and you're just trying to... the good news is that the swamp, while not perfectly flat, as long as you don't tip over into it, you should be okay.
That's good, because I'm flying slightly above it. So.
Yeah, just mind the toppled over and decaying plant life.
Yeah, is this a solid thing? Or?
I actually had a picture, I'll just get it back up. Which, to be fair, I'm not surprised we all forgot about it.
It's been a while.
Yeah, keep assuming.
Like that.
Oh, good. It's not a picture of a fetus. That seems to happen a lot.
I couldn't find one good enough to horrify anyone, so I just went with it like that.
Right
What's
up.
your problem with fetuses?
I can't find any bootses to fit them.
Next, I need
That
a
was
picture
terrible,
of a
I'm sorry.
fetus dressed up as Superman.
You do not need that.
The real problem with fetuses is that they taste awful with onions.
Ah, you're trying too hard. Boo.
Anyway.
Boo.
Is this a solid thing?
Which one? That one? Semi-solid. It's, there is a gap. Actually, I'll color the gap because it's come up. Let's use blue. Ooh.
And I just reminded myself of the
There you
time Cartman tried to convince a Chinese food restaurant that the fetuses he had were shrimp.
God damn it, son of a bitch. Don't remind me of that. There's your bloody hole. That's about the location of the most destroyed part of the trunk. Alright, you're just fucking off. Bye.
And this is a yell of, don't leave the line!
I can go where he wants.
Well, she's still angry at him.
No, yeah, be real mad, this fucker's. He gets shot.
Be glad I didn't roll a commissar.
Yeah, you would get shot for that. So, now that he's in a new position, I can reveal this to Carnamore. See if I can do individuals. No, I can't, so fuck it.
Not without giving him ownership of it, no.
This is where I get eaten by something.
Well, you'll
Something.
notice a couple things.
Everything.
This is frankly an awful idea out here.
There are 2 Byakis, at least it's hard to... What else hangs upside down like a bat with those kind of wings under some bones? So, that's happening. So there's, more. Now, no one can see them from their current position due to the location of the bones, but yeah, you know where they are. Oh yeah, that's fun to look at.
And closing that image.
And opening it again. So yes, there are definitely, at least there's one in that pile of corpses that's not doing a good job of hiding, and 2 others over by the bones. Which means, drum roll.
The other
Roll
15 are
me
right here.
a willpower. So, Chronomord, I need a willpower test from you, because they're spooky.
Look at the bones.
Look at the bones!
Willpower.
You, I think, are the strongest in this.
My
Yep.
willpower is 41.
Which is still not fantastic, but he is the best.
Never mind,
Mine's
mine's 43.
Oh, okay, he just sucks at it for some reason for a Scion. Whatever.
I'm going to spend a fate point.
2, yes, go ahead. You're good. Despite their horrifying, twitchy nature, you basically just jerk your face away and go run, and just keep going.
And hopefully I don't fail my piloting skill next turn.
And eat
fall
dirt.
over.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
So, anyone
I can
have
get right into the
Sigmund's-
battle next turn if this works. So.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
Sigmund's
difficult...
sheet.
Would you like his sheet? Because I need someone to run his ass. I have enough of these
I
bastards
could
flying
do
around as
it.
it is.
It's mostly just going to be shooting the gun. So
Mostly shooting the gun.
Yep.
So do you want his link? I think he actually still has the link up on the site.
yeah, I think so. I'm just getting to it.
All right.
Yep.
If not, I think I have a PDF, but I don't think the PDF's been updated in a while. I try to keep it updated, but...
Basically, we just need either his tech use or his repair skill to determine whether or not he's getting that gun working, this round.
I'm happy that whoever watches this can't see any of the things you fuckers link.
Well, actually, that's why I made a bit.ly link and amped up the font size.
I hate you with all my soul. You're just having fun over there, aren't you? I'm going to assume Sigmund unloads gun onto these things, but we at least need to know what level of gun skill he
Yeah,
has.
is the gun working?
Yes, I established that the turret is in full functioning order, as much as could be expected,
Excellent.
and I believe he gets to use tech use or some weird crap on it instead of normal gun. His character is a bit weirder than most.
Mhm. Well, if it gets to use tech use, it'll be a 43 before mod. A 53 before mods.
Mm. That sounds about right to me, but then again, yeah, we could be doing it entirely wrong. You can text him and say, hey, you're shooting at something, how do?
Oh no, okay. So first things first, he wants to probably activate his Logis implant.
The thing that can potentially whack him with fatigue.
Yeah, but then it also gives him a bonus to ballistics.
It does. Risk reward.
Well, that's
It
a
works.
pass.
It'll function no matter whether or not he takes the thing as a different save entirely. That's next turn.
I guess he actually make the pass now.
Oh, alright.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Nope. He is, I think it's a level of fatigue.
Yes, one level
Alright.
of fatigue.
I'll just slap that on his token.
Okay, and yeah, that's all of his things for that. So that's a plus 10 bonus on the next roll. Oh, great. Where's the stats for this stupid gun?
Heh. Oh, that one. It should be on his land speeder, which is located inside his file. So just find the land speeder, you'll find the gun. It should be a multi-las, I believe. You guys basically put a Gatling laser on the back of this thing. Which, not a bad idea.
Right, I'll just use the RPG tool, so I got the stats for it. Okay, so it's definitely within half range, so that's another plus 10. The full auto. Okay. Well, that doesn't matter, I think. Let's see, it's a 50... Actually...
You guys have really good stats when you're pumping all you're into it. Though he might still have failed. Though he does have...
No, he beat it by 2, so no additional hits, but so one
just
shot.
One? Which one?
Well, let's just say...
That's a lot.
Yeah. Let's just pick 4. It's near the
4 it is. The only reason I care is because I need to know who has dodged and who hasn't dodged yet.
Yeah.
That is all. He fires a flurry of just lasers everywhere, just jerking it left, right, center, and is panicking and isn't really able to land anything. The couple bolts of raw, heated energy that come close to it, it just kind of shifts away. He's not in the best of headspaces to be using such a rapid-fire weapon.
Yep.
And I believe that's everyone. Oh, Percival needs to do something.
Yep.
Well, he has a choice. He's first going to look over his shoulder and go, "Biokis! Damn it!" and punch the nearest thing, which happens to be Joanna, who hisses. He's got a choice. He can either take a shot, which he thinks is pointless. He can take him down all day. It's just, there's a lot of them. He's going to try and get this thing unstuck.
Yep.
He pulls some levers, slams at this and that, fiddles with it, and then screams, "Someone's going to get on the crane. We got to push this thing. Anything I'm doing down here can't work unless I get the crane involved." And that's his whole turn. Alright, so now I need everyone to roll initiative. And I'll roll for the Biaki swarms.
I got 9.
Oh dear, they're probably going to go first. Oh, okay, they rolled crap. That's good for you guys. So, 9 from Carnamord.
That's Desdemona's. Getting Sigmund's.
If Sigmund's capable of winging those things with a 90, his ballistics going to be better than mine.
That's with the Logis implant and the full auto bonus.
Gotcha.
And the Logis thing only lasts 3 rounds, I believe, before it needs a rest. Remember him saying it lasts 3 rounds, so...
Well, this says until end of next turn, so unless...
Oh, maybe he can just use it. Maybe he can just keep
it?
reusing it till he knocks himself out, then.
He might have something that buffs it, too. Like, I don't know all of this character here.
No, of course not. It's fine. If he can use it every turn, fine, but he has to make the save every time, so he could knock himself out.
There's Sigismund's. He's at 11.
Literally. Okay.
Alright, Sig's going to have a better chance hitting those things with that gun than I am with mine, so I'll get on the crane.
Fair enough. Let's see.
But first I have
Skath,
to
what'd
wait
you
till
get?
my turn gets around. I got 8 for my unit.
One thing to keep in mind also is since he's fatigued, he's gonna take penalties now.
Minus 10, minus 50?
I think it's minus 10 per level of fatigue.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll double check, though. Should be on the big list.
And it's just everything.
Yeah, but
Yep,
that's
-10
as
to
compared
everything.
to
All
my
tests.
ballistic skill of 50, and my gun can only semi-auto.
Why did everyone roll 11?
Because we like it.
We also rolled a 7.
Okay, Des, your bonus is +3. What's Sig's bonus to
No,
initiative?
my bonus is... I'm the top one. My bonus is +8.
To your initiative?
Yeah, because I have double my agility.
Oh, okay. Okay, so was it an 11 you got for your...
No, I rolled a 7 that lets me get to 15.
Okay, yeah, I do. You have another roll. Oh, right, that was
the other
one's
one's
guys.
Sigsman.
Oh, okay, sorry. So Sigsman has a +3. Okay. Alright, I have initiative order. Desdemona, you actually beat the Bayakis. Lucky you.
Yay.
I'll see you all with my next character, everybody. He's a shadow mage.
Sweet.
Well, the rest of it, I guess everyone else is making shadow mages too. You're not the only one's gonna die.
Alright, she's going to...
You killed the shit out of that Bayaki.
Uh-huh. Well, the best thing I can do is try to burn up, actually, a couple dodges, since I'm going first. So...
That is the danger here, basically.
Yeah, she's going to fire at 5 and 4 as a single shot simultaneously.
Fair enough. That's your dual shot special thing. Do your
Yep.
specialness.
Alright, the first one misses, so that's 4, and the second one... that one hits.
Goody. That is on the 5, I believe, right? Yes.
Yeah. Just for number order, I guess. Yeah.
It dodges.
Okay. Well, one dodge.
Even
burn.
with your ability to track where these things go, and even if you're on point, they just seem to not care. They can move in a way that isn't at all natural, so your ability to compensate can only happen after multiple shots, really. Because it's going to almost always dodge the initial volley. Scath, you're an ass. For that, you die.
Oh, my precious skin.
You didn't need it that bad.
Oh yeah, these are one step above too. Yeah, so.
Yay, I did the smart thing for once. Ah, crap! Oh, they can move 83, I'm dead.
Well, they can move a lot faster than that. What you don't know, and you will never know until after the fight, I'm actually going to save what you don't know for a bit, because it's funny as hell.
Yeah, about the time we reroll.
Yeah, about that time. You didn't quite see all of them, but there was there's that many. Right then. Who should I start with? Let's start with Carnamord getting torn from end to end. So they're all close enough for you to see in horrifying detail exactly how bad it is. So please roll me another willpower.
These all fear checks?
This is on Carnamord to start. Just Carnamord willpower. They have stages of this weird crap. It's weird. Just trust me. Fuck that. I didn't care.
I just asked.
You've seen worse. The Emperor is scarier than this.
As a request, let me know what types of tests sometimes things are, because
they're all fear
shit.
so far. They're all fear so far. So
okay,
no worries
cool.
on that. Yeah, they don't have any unusual
it's just sisters get a lot of weird things for specific types of willpower tests.
I know. I'm just saying for now it's all fair. I'll tell you if it changes. So you've passed your multifaceted, actually really hard fear test like it's goddamn nothing. These things response to that. I'm not used to stuff not giving a fuck.
Dare you not quiver straight out of those armored boots for us?
They just cuddle up like cats.
Kinda. Well, they have one thing they can do. Since you're not immediately rolling over for, just die for them nice and easy, they're going to beat you to death with their tails. Some of them are. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. These things look as they look, correct? The thing is, that head is as it looks. That means it has no lower jaw. In fact, it looks like it's just the top half of a skull stuck onto a neck. How does this thing eat? It has no mouth hole. It has nothing that you could use to eat with. And their response to you not falling over is to kind of whip their heads like it's an arm and try and hook you with that underpart. As their wings flap, they just kind of peck at you almost. It's the weirdest thing.
So what you're telling me is they whip their hair back and forth. They whip their hair back and forth.
That's kind of what I was going for. You asshole, stop predicting me. Also, get out of my mind. Get hurt. Alright, go ahead, and you may attempt to parry one of them, unless you have some sort of... Well, parry or dodge, so... Whichever works for you, man.
Yeah, I'll attempt to dodge.
Alright, unless you have stuff, you only get the one dodge, but I might as well let you have it. That meet your skill, or...
Agility?
It should be based, yeah.
It's agility halved, because...
If you don't have
training in dodge.
Okay, so 21 is my half then.
Close went no cigar. Would you like to reroll?
No. I might be burning fate points, so I'm going to save them for now.
Fair enough. They're going to start beating on you then. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Wow. Just wow. Okay, well, I'll deal with that. Okay, only one missed. That's bad news. That's bad. Okay. Since you have armor, I'll separate these out into individual hits for simplicity. That is 10 wounds with pen 2 for the first one. Any of that pike through?
How's penetration work?
Just take away 2.
It negates
it's
armor.
to your body, if you're wondering.
Oh, it negates armor?
Yeah, so 2 of your armor goes away on the body for this attack, and do any of the 10 wounds get through?
Let's see. I have...
So you have your armor and your toughness, and then we'll see.
Yep. Yeah, penetration means it ignores that much of your armor,
Which is 2.
and then you subtract your remaining armor from the damage.
And toughness.
But between my
And
toughness and armor, I have 10.
Oh, exactly enough. So
So
thing
if
sinks
it's got
in a bit
pen 2,
deeper
I
than
took
it should.
2.
Yeah, this thing sinks in deeper, so it actually gets past your armor, you think, but it only kind of lightly scrapes at the tender, juicy flesh underneath, so luckily your armor saved you that one.
Well, I took 2 damage because it had pen 2, so...
Oh, well, okay, so it did scrape some of your tasty fleshies away.
Yeah, I'm at 4 wounds right now.
You're in trouble. You're in a lot of trouble, actually, because...
I have 11 total.
Well, these 2, well, the second one hit you for 12 wounds total with pen 2.
Okay.
And the third hit you for a lot more. It hit you for 16. To be comforting, it did roll max. These things aren't that insane. So 16, pen 2 for the last one.
Which brings my total to 16. Just a sec.
So that makes you crit by 5.
Well, I'm just... Before that last one, I'm gonna spend a fate to remove 1d5 damage and see if that brings me down to the point where I'm not going anymore.
You're allowed.
And I'm probably going to have to end up burning a fate to survive this. So
Well, go ahead and roll that d5.
I have 1 fate point left to spend this game.
Remember that burning and using fate are different things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, cool.
I might have to burn one in order to survive this encounter.
Mm. What's funny is if you had a straight line, you still could not run these things. But I had no way to communicate. Running away is a bad idea if that's like your default. Like usually it's a good idea, but in this case,
my character is built for running away.
yeah. Normally it's a great idea. Most fights you can run from because you generally are faster with technology. But this is the one exception.
I got to take 1 point off, so I only have 4 crit.
You got the
Okay.
Stealth Special.
Would you like me to roll what crit you have?
Yes, please.
All right, let's see. 4. Let's find where the crit table is. Actually, you know what? This is you almost dying, and it's more fun for you to do it. So you go ahead and find the crit table for me. Because I want to... Crit table... It's... what is this? Rending. Okay.
What page? Do you have the page by any chance?
258. Yeah. For some reason, they put the critical table numbers, but not the actual crits on this shorthand. I hate that. Well, there is a lot of shit to put on the shorthand, and if they made it any bigger, it'd be...
What
pages
body
long.
part did it hit?
Oh yeah, that's based off the number they rolled.
Yeah, hold on, in order. Hold on. Right arm, followed by head, and the most damaging one was to the body. The body was the most damaging hit, and the right arm and head were also hit.
Right, but which one was the crit?
Body.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is the final hit that put him under. Which body crits are livable sometimes. So most people would rather have their arm critted to shit because you can live without an arm.
You can get a robo arm.
Yeah.
So if I understand this right, he rolls d10 plus the level of crit he took, which is 4 on this table.
Yar.
That's energy criticals as well.
This is a rending critical. Did not see
Should
the right
be
page?
nearby.
258 to 259 is what the page number is. If it's not on those, then
Remember that does not match up with the page number in the PDF.
yeah, it means page number of book inside the PDF.
Okay, rending critical. So, what body parts am I rolling?
Body, just the chest. That's the part that put you under when it hit you.
Okay, so what am I rolling on this?
D10 plus 4, because 4 is the amount of crit damage you took.
Okie doke.
Explosive decompression. 4 plus 4 is 8.
Feel
With a
free to breathe that
violatory
out.
noise, the skin on the target's chest comes away, revealing a red ruin of muscle. The target must make a challenging toughness test or die. If he passes, he permanently loses 1d10 from his toughness and takes 1d10 levels of fatigue.
Them's your... There you go. I had you roll it to be, And keep in mind, if you fail, you're allowed to burn your points to pass, but regardless of whether or not if you pass, that's what happens.
Well, I have one
you-
more. Well, according to the book, if you burn a fate point,
Oh,
you
right, you just
survive
start
the
it.
encounter.
Right.
So I still have one I can spend, and if all goes badly, I'll just burn one to survive the encounter and be screwed. So.
Let's see how screwed you are. Go.
But yeah, first this. So toughness. Oh,
Holy shit.
Nice.
Flex.
And D10 levels of fatigue.
I mean, it might make you useless for the rest of the combat, but damn, nice, son.
so yeah, I lose 1d10 from my toughness and take 1d10 levels of.
Fatigue, yes.
Yep.
Which would you like to roll first?
And I'm now suffering blood loss.
That's always fun. Especially in a
Okay,
swamp.
so toughness.
Okay, this is the toughness lost. Roll your d10. You lost 5 toughness. Average. Because it scraped away on the chest. It took a peck. You're 1 peckless.
Levels of fatigue.
We'll just get a peck implant.
Damn, what's with you and your average rolls? You rolled the exact same number, holy fuck. Cool, alright, that makes it easy. 5 levels of fatigue, so it's minus 50 on everything? Christ. And, Well, yeah, you're alive.
Yeah, I'm suffering from blood loss now.
So that thing, these things basically hammered their heads into you, like their nails or something, whipping them at you. The first one just kind of impacted and scraped. The second one actually kind of dug in and like tore part of the armor free. For the last one to just wham its head into your rib cage and just hook a big juicy chunk of your chest and just tear that away with a lash of its head, like they're hook heads that just dripping blood everywhere. Your armor probably needs to be repaired, and you almost died. So, at least you're alive.
Negative 50 to everything, you say?
Yeah, because of fatigue. Could have been negative 100 to everything. Okay, everyone inside the Bushwhacker now needs to make their own willpower saves, because these things are now in your face.
Fearless.
Alright, you don't give a fuck. Moving on. Roll for SIGs, though.
Yeah, I will. What's this willpower for him?
Yes, it's willpower. Oh, he failed again.
Yeah, he failed no matter what, yeah.
Checking if there's anything I can do about that.
You may always spend... I will allow you to spend fate points to not be derped, so that includes for SIG's sake. I'm sure he'd agree.
Yes, I agree too. I just don't... his sheet doesn't list his fate points.
I have to leave for a minute. I'll be right back.
Right up.
Okay.
I mean, I know he's got some. At least one, you know.
I will say he has 2, unless I'm corrected somehow.
He
willing
does
to
list
say he has
his... Yeah, probably.
For now, he has 2. If he has more, good for him. If he had less, I don't care. He has 2. So, I'm presuming he would like to spend it as would Skith, or do you want to just suffer the effects of Scary? Because remember, there's a fair number of things that can happen when you're spooked.
Yeah. Thing is, my willpower is only 43.
Slightly less than 50. It's like it's a 43% chance.
Yeah.
That's not terrible odds.
It's not terrible odds, but it's...
I actually don't think I'm going to waste on Sigismund. He has a willpower of 30, and it's going to be a minus 10 because
and he's
of
already
fatigue.
failed many times before. So what's more failure?
I mean, it's not worth it. I'll save it for making
So
him
I will
live.
describe to you the dangers of fear beyond just in the combat sense. In just the combat sense, it usually makes shooting things harder. Is usually like your aim's off. And on the other hand, almost always, especially with extreme fear, hi, my name is insanity points. That is the big danger of fear, going crazy. Sigismund is already glowing crazy. He's already on the border of Looney Town, so he's not going crazy to where he can't be a player. That comes later, but there is a path of death that doesn't involve being shot and or stabbed.
I think I have to risk it because I need these fate points to actually succeed at this battle, assuming I get to survive long enough to fight in it.
Logic. Okay. Let's see.
Also, any chance you intended Byaki 7 to be one step north, or...
Oh, him. No, it doesn't really matter. He can reach whoever anyway, but there, for your frickin' OCD needs, there you go.
There are reasons. Just carry on.
Well, to be fair, he's going for... This is probably more correct.
Okay.
He's going for the engine.
Righto. Carry on.
Which is probably more frightening than it sounds, but we'll get to that.
Yep.
So, first we'll deal with your collectively failed fear tests. I just need to know how many degrees of failure we have, because we're going to roll on the shock table. Okay, so it's plus 10 for each degree of failure. How many degrees of failure do you have, Skiff?
My willpower is 43. I rolled 53, so I think I don't hit a degree until I reach 54.
Well, I think it's exactly 10 away as a degree of failure, I think.
For plus and for minus?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 degree.
So 1 degree becomes... Okay, so due to these things, you actually have 2 degrees because they're really spooky. I'm not a bastard. Well, okay, yes I am, but I'm not a complete bastard, therefore I will let you roll on the 10-2 table yourself. Therefore, I believe it's Yeah, that's fair. What'd you roll? Oh, 12. Hold on. That might turn out to be okay. Unfortunately, we're adding 20, so that's okay. Fear grips the character, and he begins to shake and tremble. He is at a -10 penalty on all tests for the rest of the encounter unless he can recover his wits. So you can theoretically snap out of it. You actually got... Technically, you rolled I don't give a fuck. But because of the sheer horror of the scenario, you rolled I almost don't give a fuck. So you are surprisingly steadfast.
I'm shaken, but still going.
Yeah, you're surprisingly steadfast in the scenario.
Mechanical effects? Just -10?
Yes, it is a -10 on double checking. I think it's on all tests. Yes, all tests -10. At the start of every encounter, at the start of every turn of yours, you may try and snap out of it.
Sounds good.
Which is just a willpower test. You know what it is.
Yep.
However, now I need to deal with Mr. Sigismund, who has failed
spectacularly. Yeah, Sigismund says 6 degrees.
Oh boy. Roll D100 and pray for his soul.
142.
He is so doomed.
The warp claims his mind immediately.
No, it's not that bad. He didn't roll max, but he got close. The character crumples to the 1d5 plus 1 rounds, sobbing, babbling, and tearing at his own flesh, and may do nothing. Even after he returns to his senses, he is a complete mess, and at a -20 penalty in all tests till the end of the encounter, the character gains 1d5 plus 1 insanity points. So, for fairness' sake, because his character is not here, I will take on the duty of rolling these things. We will start with how many rounds he's going to be sobbing and terrified and just a complete
Really
mess.
hope you mean his player isn't here, because if his character isn't here, then Ian is about to get torn apart by Byakhis.
He might still. He's actually he's in a slight advantage because he's going prone here. They're not going to immediately jump on him.
Yeah.
Damn creatures coming out of the game and killing the characters.
So Sig is out for 6 rounds as he curls into a ball, weeping.
Did I mention that I watched The Ring on Wednesday?
Well, this isn't going to help you. And he's going to gain 1d5 plus 1 insanity points. Oh boy. Again, I'll take on the...
On Wednesday, I was beat up at a bar called The Ring.
So, if someone... I'll make a note of it myself, but, if anyone wants to look at his sheet and put, in bold caps, screwed.
I can't... I don't have edit privileges on the sheet.
Well, so I'll make a note of it, and the important notes thing, that he has gained 3 less sanity. So, hey, the guy who isn't here, his character doesn't get to act for a while, so hey! That worked
Paperwork's
out.
that much easier.
So,
we're so sorry, Ian.
Well, not that anyone can do about it. He could have re-rolled just to try, even if he still fails, just to get a lower level of failure.
Well, after what we subjected Fulton to last week...
He's fine.
We're assholes. Moving on. That's the fear effects then. Desdemona doesn't care. Sketh is slightly spooked, but not really all that badly. Sigismund is crying on the floor, huddled. Also, if you're curious, Percival also does not care, but for different reasons of deaths. He has a different trait that does it. Anyway, now they get to beat on you. Closest to closest, I suppose, makes the most sense. Except for these two. Okay, Byakhis number 4. Oh, no, I can't do that. That's a dick move, but I gotta...
Sigma's gonna die?
Well, what they do is, if they see a prone, they're supposed to pick up...
If it's what they're supposed to do...
They're gonna pick him up and fly off with him.
Well...
Okay, here's what's gonna happen. It's only logical that Desdemona is a goddamn hero. I will let you basically waste ammo and get their attention away from Mr. On the Floor crying.
That's
However,
fine.
that means 4 of them are going for your ass.
That's fine.
Alright, 4 of them are going for your ass. I hope you didn't value it or anything. Would you like to try and dodge an attack?
Well,
actually, I have bad news for me.
Mm.
If your fatigue exceeds your toughness bonus, you're automatically unconscious, so I'm down.
No.
You may spurn points to be not unconscious.
It's not worth it. I'm just going to fall over and crash my
Swoop.
board into the mud.
Crash into the mud. All right.
So yeah, I'm dodging one.
Go ahead and try.
I mean, only use it on one that actually hits me.
Fair enough.
But it doesn't matter, I failed to dodge anyway.
Well, let's see if any of them even hit you, which odds are they're gonna.
Yeah.
Looks like 3 hit you. Weird numbers here. It's always 3. Anyway, I guess I'll roll and pray. Starting with the topmost, Bayaki number 3. Much as carnivore discover, these things basically use their heads like flails. They stretch unnaturally, they swing them through the air, and just kind of whack you with the pointy bits.
Right.
Your armor can take it, hopefully.
Yeah,
How's
just
13 pen 2, do you?
Depends on location for me.
For you. This one's location. This is the first one that hit, so head.
Okay, so 13, you said?
Oh, sorry, right arm. My bad.
Okay.
Right arm, 13, pen 2.
The only thing that matters is if it hits the body. It has more armor on the body.
If that's all that matters, then I can take care of that.
Okay, let's see. 4 toughness, 8 armor, so 10 reduction. Wait, how much pen did they have? Sorry?
2.
2,
2
yeah,
pen,
so 10.
13 wounds. So you take how much?
3.
Okay,
3
you
wounds.
take 3. Luckily, he was the one who did the most damage, so the rest will be less so. Next in line is 11, pen 2. This one is to the body.
That's going to be 1. Oh, sorry, on body, then it's negated.
Oh, sorry, left arm. It's exactly 30 because you rolled the 3. So,
wound.
okay, 1 wound. Last guy probably doesn't touch you at all. Checking. Yeah, this one's definitely body, and it's only 8 pen 2.
That one doesn't touch her at all.
Alright, that's all. They bang on your armor a great deal, and a few of the teeth get lodged in there, but otherwise you do a pretty good job of not instantly dying.
Alright, she's at 5 wounds then, total.
Alright. See, you survived that, because you're the bulk character. As much as any character is bulk. Number 5 is going to try and wail on Percival, who's going to try and dodge, so we'll see how this goes. Percival is lucky. He basically just ducks. It swings, whacks on his, weird Jeep thing, and he survives. Yay for him. Last Bayaki. This one's a fucking idiot. He rolled 100. Exactly 100.
He hits himself in the head.
He attempts to wail and tear at the front of the bushwhacker for some reason, and just kind of beats his head against it like an imbecile. So that's entertaining to watch.
Break his own spine.
You might.
I have a question. With where Sigismund is, what would happen if I tried firing a flamer through these?
Well, he is prone. As long as you aim the cone as upward as possible, there's a fair chance you would hopefully not kill him.
Because that's kind of where we're at right now.
And it's kind of where you're at right now.
Either way, not my turn. Not for a bit.
Just double checking agility of Goanna. Where did I put her? Alright. Oh, wow, mine is a lot faster than I thought she was. Alright. Okay, so weirdly enough, Joanna gets to have a go. She's going to do the thing that this is the reason why he brings her everywhere. She's going to poisonous spit at Bayaki both 5 and 7. the same time. 2 heads. Gonna try and dodge, that was part of the problem. Well, she succeeded on hitting them, now they're gonna try and... One failed to dodge, holy shit. Alright, so Bayaki 5 is gonna get a face, I guess, full of venom. Nice.
And we realize that they're immune to venom.
No, really. No. Not in that sense.
Oh, thank goodness.
Location? Head. Alright, sweet. That's exactly where it needed to go. Alright, that Bayaki, while trying to tear Percival a new one, flails its head in the wrong direction, and Joanna, at almost perfectly timed, hawks some kind of glob onto its face, and its face starts coming off. Like, it is melting through it faster than fire goes through, like, plant matter. It is... This thing, if it could make noise beyond that weird whooping thing it makes when it flies, which is probably caused more by its body shape than it, yeah, it would probably be screaming in absolute pain. It did a lot of damage to its face. If it sees using its eyes, it doesn't anymore. So that one, 90% sure is either blinded or deafened or both, or gonna die. One of those. The other one, however, does manage to sort of shift itself away from the loogie of death. Percival, since no one's on the crane yet, he can't act. And this is a problem. Well, Bayaki number 5 is almost dead, so might as well just finish that off. Called shot to its... Fuck it, its face. I mean, it's already boiled half off. That's a hit. It's a lot of degrees of success, too. Finally. Ooh, fun. I want to show you this because you finally got it off.
Hmm?
Okay, so this thing's head explodes. You're reading that right. If he makes a called shot anywhere, if he just makes it and has a beats their agility score, he does critical damage. 1d5 plus 2 critical damage every shot.
Yeah.
He could kill basically anything if its agility is crap, or if it's got a certain sum given it penalties. So that one's missing its head, so it's just gonna lay down.
Well, I left my head. Time for a nap.
I don't need that thing anyway. So that one slumps over into the goop and disappears into the churning muck caused by the wheels spinning uselessly. Looks like
That's
it's
what you get
Sketh's
for
turn.
listening to Willow Smith.
Yep. Joanna, Percival. Oh, no. Carnivore, it's your turn. You fall off your board into the muck. You're not sure what happens beyond that, but
I have a 10% chance of dying. That was not a 1, so yay.
you're not dead. You're just kind of floating in the muck. Do you like space aids by chance? This is how you get it. Well, that and the other way, but we're not talking about that. So, your turn's finished, I guess. Sketh, now you may go.
Where are the crane controls?
It's more or less in the center of the vehicle. However, you're in the back cage. If you look at the picture, it's basically right above your head. So if you just climb for it, you gotta climb. That was the thing. There is a step ladder. It's just you're in a hostile situation, so I still need a climb check. Just a relatively easy one. Let me guess, you don't have that.
Yeah, No. I see here. Climb
acrobatics, I
based
believe.
on based on strength, actually.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
There you go then.
So I have more pressing priorities here.
All right, well, take life one step at a time.
So what was that about aiming flamers upwards?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully if you all duck low enough and she aims at like head height, you don't all get melted.
Oh, never mind her. I have an exterminator cartridge on my pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now's the time to use it. I will say this.
Yep.
There's no danger aiming that direction. I mean, there's no one in the way. There's just Lyakis.
Fair dues, and maybe those things, maybe the two that are trying to crawl across and get at us are being hindered by the cage. One can always hope. All right.
If you're wondering, yes, they are taking penalties involved with the cage.
Yep.
They just got really lucky, actually, on Des.
Yep. All right. A half action to put my rifle down somewhere it's not going to fall out of the truck in the melee, because I do not want to lose it in the mud.
Center somewhere.
The free action to pistol out of the forearm holster.
It pops right into your hand. Fits like a glove.
Half action, fire the exterminator cartridge.
Extermination engaged.
Acts as a hand flamer.
Okay, they're going to roll agility to not get torched.
I find the term flamer offensive.
Well, it was a near thing. They both succeeded, though. However, they have to get out of the way regardless.
Including, point blank and all that.
Yeah, they're really, 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 really insanely good at this.
Yeah.
What's funny is if any of you had a chainsword and were like melee focused, you'd go through these things like butter.
Well, actually, the person that had the best chance of that is now quivering on the floor. Because he has that arm that can go into melee.
Yeah, he would have. If the second you engage these things in melee, you realize you can take them apart with your bare hands. It's trying to hit them with guns and AoE weapons you're going to find there.
Actually, what's the rules then for using a pistol in melee combat that way?
It works like a blunt knife, so it doesn't do that much, but it can work. Which is to say, doesn't count. I think it counts as primitive and not mono.
Well, no, I mean, is there
Penalties?
a
No.
penalty thing that they have for hitting for things that use ballistic skill or only fired at range? Because you can technically use ballistic skill to fire pistols as a melee weapon.
Oh, I see what you mean. I would say hitting them with the butt of your pistol is still weapon skill, not ballistic skill.
Right. But I'm saying shoot them at point blank, would they still have the dodge capability?
Oh yeah, it's specific to shooting. It's hard to explain without getting.
Okay.
Basically, if you swing a sword, it's different than shooting at them because it has something to do with how fast the object is moving. I'll give you that. I.e., the bullet goes so fast they can react better to it. It sounds stupid, but trust me.
No, I've read Dune.
Okay, good. You've read Dune. That helps.
Well, the shields.
Yeah, it's a lot like the Dune shields, actually, in this scenario. Firing bullets is almost never going to work. Swinging a sword will crush them.
So we shoot them with lasers and nuke the planet.
Well, you're right next to them. That's not going to help anyone except...
Hey, after the last session, that shouldn't really be an issue.
I guess you got a point. Okay, so, Sketh, you have fired your flamer, and it's made them scatter. You're not sure if that's going to keep them away, or if they don't care that you missed, but they had to move, so they at least have to move back into range or whatever to deal with you. Well, they might fuck off, you don't know.
Alright,
They were awful quick to get out of the way, though.
Yeah. I cannot remember if it is possible to spend fate to get additional half actions or anything.
I'd allow it. Even if it's not technically on the list of things, I am as creative instructor of this. The game's already bullshit hard anyway. I'd allow it.
The pre-written list is reroll a failed test, gain a bonus to a test, add a degree of success to a test that you succeeded at, count as rolling a d10 for initiative, remove 1d5 damage, and recover from being stunned.
I'll allow you to gain a half action with it because, again, game is hard enough. Which is a home rule. That's fine. If you want to, you can.
All right. Well, the exterminator cartridge actually explicitly says that you can't use the weapon it's attached to for anything else on the same turn.
Yeah, you're using the...
You might want to go prone.
Just so she can do her thing.
I agree. I will drop prone.
Woohoo! That's free. I'm not going to make you spend fate on that.
Yep. Carry on.
Alright, looks like... Yep, Des, you're back up.
So...
I know what you're doing. You're going to stand tall, point both gun either direction, and spin as you shoot flamers. I'll roll.
Hold on.
You're not going to do that?
Can't
I'm like,
do
you're
that
still
too
doing
easily.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect. Actually, this works really nicely. Yeah, she's firing them both in different directions.
I'm aware, like I said. Extend arms, pistol in each hand, twirl in place as flames go everywhere.
Fire hot. So, let me give you all the downsides now for them.
Go on, then. Actually, 2 of them can't dodge this. Shit.
No. This, you can always dodge flamers. Like,
okay.
It's
so
not dodge, it's agility tests.
Right. They just use a lot of the same things for it because they don't have this. They don't technically have the skill. They just have a stupid high agility that is adjusted by traits. Anyway, in certain scenarios, it's weird.
So,
Monsters
Cleanse
are
and
weird.
Purify gives a minus 20 penalty. And...
Damn. They might not make it anyway.
And Nephilim fuel tanks give a minus 10 penalty, so minus 30.
Well, they'll look had to run out eventually. 90, 92, 89, 98. So there's a whole lot of fire everywhere, and they can't really do much about that. So go ahead and roll your massive damage on these things, because they didn't dodge anything. They took it to the face. Just in the face, all over the face. Okay, so I'm just going to do them arbitrarily. One moment. They are alive. All of them. I mean, they're on fire, but they haven't been scorched to ash. They're simply on fire, and again, if they could scream, they would, but the fact they're eerily silent the whole time is probably pretty intimidating in and of itself. It's like they don't care.
So now you're fighting. So now not only are you fighting these things, you're fighting them on fire.
Yeah, that is the problem. They are on fire now.
Doesn't being set on fire actually have some mechanical stuff to it?
It's like those bats from Zelda that are on fire.
Well, they're going to be taking a wound each turn from the fire, I'll give you that right now. Bayaki's turn, actually. So if there's a mechanical effect to the fire, tell me.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it in the PDF because, it's a pain.
You're all horrible people. If it had a mechanical effect, I guess lower your ability to hit stuff because it's hard to see through all the ow and the flame. And
Well, no, I think there's something along the lines of they panic if they can't pass a willpower test.
these things can't panic.
Oh, well, screw that.
Yeah,
Mindless.
not mindless, just not experiencing fear the same way you experience fear. Something like being on fire is not particularly intimidating
Okay,
to them.
they have to make a second agility test here to see if they get put on fire, so they're not automatic.
Yep.
Well, alright.
I would assume it's at the same penalty.
It would be. Well, they're all on fire. 90, 92, 90, 85. They're on fire.
How well did your damage fare against them?
They're on fire, and they don't seem to be particularly resistant, but they're alive.
And looks like you actually got a pretty average spread of damage on them. Oh well.
Yeah, and minimum
Regardless,
on 1.
it is their turn. Despite being on fire and decently heavily damaged, well, 2 of them had enough of this crap, and they're going to do something rather interesting. So, let's start with... Well, you don't know what's going on over here. Mysteries are going on over by Carnivore. Yeah. So here's what's going to happen. These 2, or Bayaki 3 and 4, are going to try and rip Desdemona's head off. Desdemona, yes.
I'll dodge the first one that has to actually hit me.
You may try.
That is a success.
Well, only 1 managed to hit you, so as it swings its head, you duck.
Woo.
They do not manage to hit you. However, the other 3 are tired of this crap, and they're going to try and flip the car.
Pretty heavy car.
Never said it was a smart idea or it's going to work, but they're pissed. They managed to lift the front end a little, but doesn't really accomplish much. So those 3 don't really manage to do very much this turn. Good news and bad news. Good news, Garnemort is being left alone in the muck. The bad news is more Bayakis have shown up. The best news is they can't all get in there at once, so it looks like only 1 can get in there. Oh wait, sorry, he's
Drag
in
the
the group.
templates while holding shift.
So it looks like 1, 2, 3. 3 can get in, the other 1 couldn't find room. So, let's see. Looks like 16 is going for Percival. Percival is not touched. This thing misses and bangs its head on his car. Bayaki 1 going for Des. Hits. Uh-oh. Max damage. 16 with Pen 2 on Des's chest.
Okay, so that's 5.
Is one gonna tear your boob off too? God damn it.
No, I still have 1 wound left.
And there was one other who got in. Where is he? Oh, there he is. He can only really go for Joanna, which is going to turn out to be a mistake. She doesn't dodge. She bites back. Well, he's hit, so let's figure this out. Joanna dodges the hit and bites back for... not very much at all. So, the one, number 8, while the others soar down, a couple of them try and bash at Desdemona, one gets a nasty hit right in her chest plate. They seem to be running out of room to swarm you guys, but one of them goes for Joanna, and she essentially lashes back at this thing. As its head swings down to whack at her, she swings her head up at it, catching the thing underneath the missing jaw area and sort of just chewing at it. It doesn't seem to be doing much damage, but it made the creature basically kind of flail uselessly. And it looks like that's all of them. Ha ha. Yes, that is the correct one. Sigismund's turn. He's weeping on the ground. Joanna's turn. Joanna is going to kick this thing's ass, actually. Because... 2 hits. This thing can try and dodge. And it does. Okay, so Joanna and this thing basically get into a mongoose viper scenario, where the viper is sort of half striking and making the mongoose leap and twist in the air continually, and neither of them are really getting anywhere, at least not yet. So Joanna is kind of holding off Bayaki number 8 for now. Percival is not liking these odds very much, no sir, but he doesn't have much of an answer besides shoot it in the face.
So he sets the self-destruct and...
Yes, I saw this coming. No. He thinks he can get out of this. Yep. You guys are doomed. Yeah, I guess he's going to pop the one that keeps trying to chew him in the face, but he's probably not going to get lucky this time. It's not blinded, so he's not going to get any of his fun crit stuff. You could still hit it, though.
He shrugs. Well, I
penalty's pretty
wanted
bad
this
for melee,
paycheck,
though.
but not this badly, and pulls the dump truck lever on the...
That would not help his scenario. He could do that, but it would not help his scenario. Most of them are kind of clustered on the front, too. And not like he can drive away, either. Now, if he could dump you guys and drive away, he might. He's definitely hit. Doesn't beat the agility by any, though.
He starts to dump us, he's going to find all of a sudden there's a crack grenade left in his truck.
Let's see. Yep, he's just going to do his damage. This one hasn't dodged yet, actually, so he might even hit it. Yep, it dodges. He takes a shot at Bayaki 16, but unfortunately the thing just weaves out of the way of his shot. He's swearing pretty much continually in a constant tone, but you can't really hear him over the screaming, scrabbling of claws and Sigismund crying. Carnamord, you are unconscious. Your dreams are nice. They involve being in space, because apparently space is better than this suck-ass planet.
That is not a 1, so I'm not dead yet.
That's good. I hope your blood doesn't attract, underwater predators.
That's up to you.
I think the worst thing that it might attract in this swamp is leeches the size of a house.
Not interested in his dead. His body might as well just be a pile of mutant tumors.
Yeah, a leech the size of a house swims
Well,
up and just swallows me whole.
There's also the problem that we have no idea where he is.
There's that too. Sketh, it's your turn. The flamers did their work, but these things are still coming, and there apparently is now more of them.
It's okay, the
Right.
flamers can still do their work.
Yeah, well, it was a one-shot flavor.
For you, yes.
Not for
Yeah.
me!
I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep doing this. I will point out that while the cage is sort of protecting you, there's enough of them to where the cage might start to buckle if there's even more coming, because this thing's being clawed and like they're shoving themselves tightly against it. It's meant to keep in nasty shit, but there's a limit.
Those crane controls,
Mm.
have they been... Were they scorched by Desdemona's little pirouette?
Nope, they're like as the picture states, it's a platform higher up than the cage is located. So no. Especially considering its position on the front and she aimed at the sides.
Okay. I am scrabbling up to that, hoping that these things stay focused on her.
All right, go ahead. I will point out that due to its position, it's kind of exposed up there. Like,
Yeah, I'm aware.
All right.
That's why I didn't go for it last time.
All right, you're more than welcome to get up there.
All right, how many half actions does that take?
Just one to get up there. Another one to stand, though.
I need to quickly look over this thing and see if I can figure out how to operate it.
I need a climb check
You need a climb check.
to get up on the thing while it's covered. Well, not covered, but there are Bayakis around, and you have to climb up a ladder under pressure.
All right, is this check being made at +0?
No, you're getting a big bonus to it. Like, it's not hard to do, but you could fail it on depending on your strength, 90 to 80 if your strength is really shitty. You're getting around like a +60, 70 to it.
Okay. All right.
It's a ladder. It's fairly simple. Just there's shit going on. The thing is rattling.
All right. Because if it's being done at +0, my climb is 10. I will
I know,
consider other options.
it's not a challenging thing. It is very simple. It's just, it's still a check.
All right. And that's worth spending a fate on.
Well, ladders are hard.
Ladders are hard. How do they work?
Strange human invention.
Please don't tell me that sends me falling into the swamp.
No, you just fall prone.
That's not all the worst thing to happen.
Okay.
What is this human bullshit? Where's the levitation device?
The good news is all I did was waste one half action.
Yeah, you still have another.
Oh, it's a full action to do a
standing up
semi-auto.
also cost you an action?
I asked him how much it would cost me.
Oh.
In this case, basically none.
Oh.
He was using. You can hoist yourself up using a ladder just by. If he wants to like stand up
the
and be
ladder.
standing.
Okay.
But
That makes sense.
In that
kind of like grabbing a
case-
guardrail and just keep going.
Damn it, I've lost the page. Where the hell? What page is my... There we go. Combat actions. There we go.
Oh yeah, can you give me that page number? I lost mine too.
For which one?
Combat actions page.
It's in the vicinity of 241.
Thank you.
It is a full action to do a semi-auto burst. But without that, I've got really horrible odds to hit these things.
Didn't you guys want to buy grenades?
I have grenades, but you wouldn't let me buy all the grenades.
Mostly because, they're not going to start handing out high-yield explosives
So
to some
what I
fucks.
have is I have grenades to take things down gently, because that's something she can't do, and then killing vehicles. These don't qualify.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I am going to take a shot with my pistol at Byaki 1. Because that's all I can do.
Damn it. Die, you fuck. Gone. Let's see. Byaki 1. He tried to dodge. Just looking through who's dodged, who hasn't dodged. He has not.
Clap.
Oh, you definitely hit him. Let's see if he... Well, we'll see. Well, he rolled a 6, so he just kind of jerks his head slightly to the left. It's a good shot, but he's not having it.
Right.
Just start punching them.
Honestly, that might be better at this stage. Desdemona, it's your turn.
Yay.
Save the day, please.
She's going to make a dual shot with her dual flamers in one direction.
Just as much fire in that direction as possible.
If you kill one, we'll name it Zane.
So if it's touching any of those, they're hit.
Okay, well, I
1,
need to
2,
make a whole
3,
lot of
4.
checks.
All 5 on that side.
And because it's a dual shot, minus 50 to the agility test.
Holy shit, you might actually get these guys.
Is that including the minus 30 that you...
Yes, that's total.
Total? Okay, total is minus 50. Thank you. Oops, I rolled once too many. It looks like 3... No, 2 made it. 3 get hit.
Okay.
I'll say logically these 2. So the other 3 suck it. And it looks like it's... Yeah, these I think these 2 have already been damaged also. Oh, go ahead and roll. Well, I double checked. Yeah, they did.
Extra crispy.
Yeah, these things are fried. They turn charred and are on fire as they flail into the swamp. You've sort of saved the day. I mean, there's still some up, but, hey, progress.
Yep, progress.
Well, it's their maneuver. Let's see, I need to check some things. This is round 3. Okay. So here's where you guys start getting mad at me. This one, without a head, gets up and starts attacking.
Axe. Carry on.
Actually, though, without its head, it can only do this. So it's going to swing its tail at Percival. And miss terribly. It seems the tail is not a very good backup choice. It still has no head. It's just keep going though. Right. Now the rest. This one in the back is gonna climb aboard. These guys are already in position. Just gonna climb over my dead comrades. I don't care. Okay. Who's gonna go where? Pile over there. And let's see. Two on Percival. Lucky Percival. Really lucky Percival. Man, he survived. 3 on Death. Would you like to try and dodge one? Yes, you
No,
would.
I just want to get hit. It doesn't make it.
Okay, only 1 hit then.
Okay.
Damn, that's high. 15 2-pen on, well, body, because, yeah, body.
Alright, so I'll use a fate to recover 5 wounds.
Okay, you flex extra hard and it doesn't hurt as bad.
And then I'll be taking 5 wounds, I think. Yeah.
Alright, so
wait, it's on body or...
Body.
Okay, 4 wounds.
Okay, so you take 4, so you basically recovered a wound.
Yeah.
Alright. That leaves only 1, which is engaged with Joanna, so it's going to try its luck. It snaps at Joanna. Joanna slithers, actually just fails to hit Joanna at all, and Joanna fails to land. Well, it dodges Joanna's hit, so basically a whole lot of the Mongoose and Viper thing again. Dancing around. What they said. Right, so is that all of them? Yes, that is. Sigismund still crying. Joanna. This one already wasted its dodge on her counterattack, so that means it's got some hits in. That's why she's good at this, by the way. She can counter instead of normally just having to dodge, thereby making it waste its dodge early, and then pep. Joanna starts basically just sort of latches on to the nearest Byakuya, one of its head at its neck, other head somewhere near its torso, and just starts ripping chunks out, lashing, ripping chunks out, lashing, ripping chunks out. And it can't, considering how crowded it is and the fact that it already had to like kind of leap backwards up into the air, it just can't compensate for 2 attacks coming from 2 different directions randomly. It can't seem to compensate for what's going on, especially how fast Joanna's heads are moving. They're like a machine can barely move that bloody fast. Like on a trigger. So, Joanna's actually kicking this thing's ass pretty well. So, Joanna's got this under control. Percival has it less so. But he's trying. That's the important part. He's trying. And he just flat out misses. Good job, Percival. Everyone applaud. Chronomord still dead. Or dying. Go ahead and make your roll. Still alive. Skith, your maneuver.
Hooray!
The swarm's cleared up a little. Damana's doing damage.
I shall attempt to contribute in kind.
What's funniest?
Semi-auto attack in the direction of Byakuya 1.
Alright.
With semi-auto, that one's the plus 10? Yes, plus 10.
Yeah.
Alright, there we go. Ballistic skill is 50. I've only got 1 fate point. I think I need to hold on to it for the moment.
So just a hit, so...
A hit.
Dodge. So it just kind of, again, jerks out of the way.
Well, I guess that just means that Joanna gets to finish carving it up.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's it for you, unless you have something else. I know you sent me out. You're done. Desdemona, continue saving the day.
So which ones are actually on fire that should be still burning?
I think it was just the two. Yeah, they're still burning. I'm keeping track. They're just
Okay.
they're a little more resilient to burning, like being on fire, than you'd think they'd be. Considering how skinny they are. Guess it's just not a lot of burn. Not a lot of fat or anything to like crisp them. Though I'll give you a hint, they can probably die to a stiff breeze at this rate.
Right.
Double barrels.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Their chance to dodge is suddenly dropped to the ceiling with that. It was a negative 50, you said? Yeah, they still fail. They're close, but with a negative 50 on it, the damn thing, they can't get around that. Nothing can. None's that fucking fast, not even these. So they suck it.
And now my control keys randomly stop working. Hold on. Well, that didn't work.
Yes, it fucking did.
Well, the damage did. I messed up one of the hotkeys.
I want a burger.
Oh, actually, if you're typing empgt semicolon, that'll render a greater than sign. You want to actually just use the less than and greater than symbols. The MapTool chat is just HTML.
Oh, whatever. They died. That's what matters.
More or less, yeah. You point 2 barrels full of promethium, and that's how you've solved every problem that's come your way so far, and so far it has yet to not work.
For the Emperor.
I believe this is your face at this stage.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're overjoyed to find something to just pour fire onto continually. For the goddamn Emperor. So, their turn. Well, they recognize what the threat is. You and fire. These two zip off somewhere.
Don't tell me we scared them.
No, they seem to have fucked off somewhere. I don't know. They went fast, though. They always do when they fly.
They're going to get reinforcements.
These two are going to beat on Desdemona if they can.
And if they actually have gone to get into reinforcements, I'm calling hacks.
Well, I get to dodge.
Go ahead. They got a 3 and a 1. I think they hit.
Yeah, though that didn't work.
No, it didn't. I'll just public these two. I mean, you know what damage and what they're rolling, so it's not very hard.
Right, what's the top one?
11 pen 2, followed by 8 pen
Right. Location.
Oh,
the second one doesn't hit no matter what.
Well, in that case, so 30, right arm. Nope, left arm.
Okay.
Left arm.
So I take 1 wound, so I'm back up to 1 left.
Well, they're in a shitload of trouble. Looks like Sig still crying. He's got 1 more turn of that. Joanna. Honestly, Joanna's gonna kick this thing's ass.
Back in just a second.
Oh, yeah, right. And Joanna basically just slowly rips this things head from its shoulders, and thing falls over. Death by 1,000 nibbles. Ah, hell, it's doing. It's lagged out again.
Desync?
No, it's that thing where I've sort of, I guess it is desynced. It's where I can't get, it seems to have frozen, but if I open and close the wind, like minimize and, well, that's a damn irritation. Hold on, let me memorize this picture.
The event queue gets scrambled a little. Just save campaign and you should be able to close and reopen.
Okay.
There is one left and it is directly north of Desdemona.
Alright, saving. Let me reopen the damn thing. Sorry.
Yep.
I wish I knew what caused that, because I would stop doing it.
As do I, so that I could write a bug report that actually tells the MapTool guys how to fix it.
The best I can say, it has something to do with the control key, because I'm pressing that a lot while talking, so something to do with that.
Doubtful, but carry on.
That's the only thing that's consistent with it. That's the thing.
It's the gremlin that's humping your motherboard.
Get the fuck off, gremlin.
Just let us know when the server's back up.
Got it. It managed to save. Server should be up now. Apologies for the interruption. Wish I knew what caused it.
Yep.
And we return to Percival turn 4.
Could you summon the stream to the correct location and map?
Which, that's correct. It's been a while.
Control E, then Control F. Thank you.
Sorry, it's been like a couple of weeks. Anyway.
Yep.
Alright, so Percival, one target. Might as well. Okay, he's hit. It dodges. We move on. Carnivore, you dead yet? Now we
I'm not, I'm dead.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Yeah,
Almost,
I'm dead.
but not quite.
No,
Dead?
that's
That's a 1 on the D10. Do you have any fate points with which to avert that?
No, I'm just going to burn one to survive, because you guys aren't going to find me before I do that anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, one is burned, and you will survive another day. That leaves it to Sketh.
Yaki 6. I wish I had taken the time to carve your name upon these pellets. Daka 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 daka.
Well, he's already used his dodge, so...
Yep.
Well, one of his dodges. Alright, go on.
Semi-auto, crap.
Level of successes, please. Or number of shots, rather.
That is 2 hits.
He dodged one. One got through, though.
Alright. Damage is... Where the hell did that go? I think it's... Yes, 2d10 plus 2. It is energy.
Roll, sir. It has no armor, so don't worry about Pen.
Okay.
15. This one has actually stayed in the back the whole time, so he's relatively okay. So, still standing. It's got, which is actually unusual. Clearly this thing is far more, what's the right word? Resistant?
Yep.
Or some other thing than it should be. Because when you had scanned it earlier, if this thing was at all natural in any way, shape, or form, or, how it's supposed to be, if it was that thin,
yeah,
it should have exploded into shards with a shot like that. But instead, it just kind of impacted. Some ribs cracked, and you think it probably collapsed a lung or whatever equates a lung for this thing. But the fact it's still flapping around and not making noise at you, yeah, these things are definitely not what they're supposed to be, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
So, that is everything. Top of the turn, Desdemona. Would you like to finish this by Aki in some sort of epic fashion?
Well, I can use these flamers as a melee weapon.
You do what you want to do, lady. There's only one left, and I got a whole lot of options.
I haven't had a chance to use it yet. Let's see. Yep, so yeah. I can basically do a dual shot with it as a single target attack without expending ammunition.
You go crazy.
So they have to make the agility test. Basically
boy.
attacking a single square minus 50.
He has failed.
So yeah. Put it right up to his face and fire, more or less. Down
The
his
fire
throat.
comes. The fire comes out the tail end in a heavy stream as it passes through its entire body, and what's left of the charred husk, mostly a pair of wings, sinks into the muck. Initiative is cleared for now. Dun dun dun. Yes, initiative is cleared. The smell of burning promethium is everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, there's some fire that's actually burning still on the swamp surface, because promethium is serious business.
Yeah, well,
You're pretty sure the water is actually on fire.
I will now ascend to the crane and try and coordinate with Percival what he needs us to do.
Well, maybe pay me for repairs on my fucking cage. You melted some of the bars.
Let's live through this first, man.
Damn it, fine. Those levers push the back end and heave.
Right. How's Karna?
Oh.
Des, how's Sig, and where's Carnivore?
Carnivore ran. I have no idea where he is.
Sig has stopped weeping and just kind of slowly peeks over, still shaking some. He seems a little more coordinated, and he stops sobbing and calling to a ball, but that's about it.
Sigmund is...
I'll take a tech use or just a
functional.
raw agility check, Scath, your choice.
Roger that. Versus 60.
You win. The vehicle lurches backwards a little. It does bump the land speeder a great deal, but you think it's free enough to start moving, and he does, in fact, start more or less backing up. You imagine this is probably damaging the land speeder, but the fucks he give don't exist. He looks around and says, "Are there four of you? I swear there's four. It's when you die."
He disappeared into the woods aboard
He did.
aboard his hovering thing.
He did.
He's
dead out here.
He went that way, but beyond that, I do not know.
Well, we'll go that way and maybe we find his corpse. Which is exactly what we're going to do now. I would like everyone to attempt to find his corpse by rolling perceptions. Yay!
Beat it by 3.
Alright. Everyone else, please.
And the truck runs over me.
That is a danger, yes.
Desmond doesn't see anything. Sigismund has a pretty bad penalty by now.
He does.
What am I talking about? I scanned the area with my auger array looking for
He
power
remembered
sources.
it. I was really hoping he wouldn't remember it and be like, yes, but alright. So, despite your relative incompetence at looking for things in a murky swamp where full of old bodies, where his probably looks like just like everyone else's, you find Carnivore's still probably bleeding body and fish him out with the crane.
As gently as possible, no doubt.
Yes.
We break only 2 of his skulls.
Yes. So you've managed to survive, and you feel...
Humans only have one skull there, buddy.
Oh. I need to check something.
Ha! Well, despite the horrifying situation, Desdemona managed to rather prove herself this day by burning the shit out of a whole lot of Bayakis. As you're... What?
Nothing, just giddy.
Well, that giddy feeling fades a little bit because as you're getting away, you're a fair distance off, but because you're not stupid, you do turn to watch your back, and you see the bodies you had scorched rising from the muck. Like, they're getting up. And what you remember of these things, they were really, really fast. And they seem to be kind of gathering themselves for the moment. Do you inform Percival of the situation?
Drive faster.
How? It's a goddamn swamp. I can get out of the swamp, but that means
They're
going
coming
down.
back.
Going out of the swamp.
Well, try and put some foliage between us and them, maybe.
I'm trying. This thing bumps and rattles and does its level best to get the fuck out of Dodge. So, I'm going to basically do one of two things. This is kind of a skill challenge, let's call it. The Bayakis will pursue. I want to know what you can do to slow them down or distract them. I will accept basically putting the vehicle into overdrive by tech using the shit out of it and or repairing. I will accept dumping the land speeder to gain as much speed as possible. I will accept dumping yourself to gain as much speed as possible and or just running for it yourself because you might be faster than this plotting thing. I will accept setting something on fire and hopefully letting it spread, just wildfire this shit and hope it doesn't go in your direction. I'll accept just about anything you can think of. It's just, what do you want to throw at it?
I like fire.
I say we take like 3 of these. Des, lay down a flame screen, and Sig, let's see if there's anything we can do about improving the performance of this thing.
Quick, throw Carnivore overboard for the weight.
You could also drop this land speeder, and I would not care.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of a pile of junk, and I don't really like. I want to replace it as soon as possible, anyway.
Yeah. Let's crane that thing off.
And hell, maybe we can set it on fire. Maybe they'll get distracted or something.
So long as it has fuel in its tanks, I don't think I want to be that close when you do.
That's Sig's only response to any of this.
Is there any way to set a crack grenade on time delay?
I would need a ballistics skill followed by a tech use. So, what is the full plan? In order, please.
I have experience with the crane. I'm going to get this thing off of the truck.
All right. Crane stage. I would like a tech use and or raw agility, because that's what it uses. It's a crane.
Tech use versus 60.
Yeah, 3 successes. You can dump the land speeder.
Okay, before we fully do that, I want to do one thing.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess she doesn't know how to do it. Never mind.
I thought a thunk, she declares Desmonda, as you dump the land speeder into the muck.
Pretty much, I wanted to actually do the grenade thing. Oh, well.
Well, okay, stage 2. What is the next step?
Let's get some. How badly is our Sig's checks going to be suffering?
I believe he's at a minus 50.
There. I'm setting fire out that way.
You now have a rocket ship on the ground. Good news with that, though. By using a continual stream of fire behind you, not only are you basically setting the swamp on fire, you're setting up a wonderful signal to everything. I do mean everything. Which means the cavalry finally arrives. I don't think I have a token big enough to properly...
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does... Your ship arrives to take you as far away from this as possible. Yes.
Alright, the only problem with that visual is that Carnivore is obviously Starscream.
Yeah, seriously. Reverse the positions and we're good.
Of course, that does also mean we are apparently being led by Sigismund, who is Soundwave, but never mind that. Okay, so...
wishes he was as cool as Sound.
Right, so if the cavalry has arrived, that means a lot of you can escape with little to no trouble. The Bayakis aren't going to pick on something that big. Just need to make some rolls privately, because I always have to, god damn it. Okay, so you're all aboard, and luckily the Bushwhacker can be essentially loaded into this thing. It's
oh yeah,
big.
if this shuttle can carry down 4 or 5 land speeders, it can carry the Bushwhacker.
Yeah, it's got no problem really. It's just the Bushwhacker's a bit more awkward than
so
most
the
vehicles.
shuttle descends through the tree cover,
starts firing randomly and rapidly, basically in whatever direction you choose, which is probably towards the Bayakis, so they're not going to get close. And even if they can dodge everything it can shoot, eventually it'll hit them, and eventually that's going to blow them completely apart.
And a ramp is preferred for us to get our asses upon.
You do. You finally get your asses aboard, and this thing starts pulling away as fast as you can get the thing to go. As you're pulling away, you actually see 2 things in order. First you see... Hold on. Damn it.
Piece of scenery which is loading. More Byakis.
Basically, yes. There's another cluster of Bayakis who basically were flying in from that direction, and they're hurting something, or rather something's chasing them. It doesn't look very happy. Then again, it's hard to tell with, bar cigars. They tend to always look kind of grumpy. Basically, these things are semi-hurting. It's chasing them, and occasionally it'll stop and seem to want to not care anymore, and they'll just zip super fast in front of it, flail at it uselessly, and then zip right back forward for it to chase them. They're basically semi-hurting this thing towards where you were.
These things are a little cleverer than we gave them proper credit for.
Yeah, they may or may not be semi-sentient. And Carnivore just throwing computers everywhere, screaming hacks. In seriousness, no. Percival will explain very happily that Bayakis are semi-sentient. They might even be fully sentient, but since no meaningful communication has ever been established in any way, shape, or form, there's no way to confirm. But it's definitely known they're smart enough to, say, herd bar cigars towards stuff that's too hard to crack for themselves, fly in formations, be smart enough to flip things and occasionally turn on things.
And he is telling us this as the shuttle is making
pulling
to
away,
hit vacuum,
yes. Yes, even if the bar cigar got to you, the ship has enough firepower to probably kill it. Probably.
They'd probably fire the rending things at them.
Yeah, they'd fire the missiles you got, the really nasty ones.
Yep.
I'm guessing they would do that while they were taking off.
Probably, they do it anyway. They probably wouldn't hit it this distance, but they do it anyway. Fuck this jungle! Or forest, or whatever it is. Fuck this swamp. So, you all are finally pulling away and out of that hell zone. There's very unlikely anything that can, especially in speeder mode. Stuff in the air, sure, but on the ground, speeder mode, you're fine. So, you're all aboard your ship. The cavalry is here. You're safe for the moment. You relax. And try not to think about what just happened.
And that's when the peril really begins.
More or less, yeah. I need another willpower save from everyone.
Do I need one?
You too.
Oh.
Leave me alone. I'm already dead.
Shut up and take your willpower, Dave. Actually, I do it when you wake up, but this is quicker, so either way.
Well, by the time I wake up, I won't have the negative 50 at least.
This is true. I will. Well, you can make the roll, just you won't have the penalty when it happens.
Yeah, I failed it anyway.
Okay. Everyone, come on.
I did.
Looking something up.
Okay.
Right, okay. Well,
This is more to do with coming close to death than it does being scared of the creatures that attacked you.
Yep.
If it happens to be a very hard test, so I reduce the penalty.
Desdemona, you have honestly fought through worse and lived. This is nothing to you. You just breathe in the smell of promethium and praise the Emperor.
Well, here's Sigismund.
Alright, degrees of failure from... one from Scath. How's Carnivore doing? How many degrees? At base, no penalties.
Sorry, whom?
Carnivore.
56. My base willpower is 41.
So just 1 degree of failure. Or, sorry, 2. Let's see. Just double checking. Okay, none of you actually failed enough to where it causes a problem. Mostly, a lot of you are shaken and unsteadied and just generally not in a good headspace, but there are no otherwise permanent lasting effects. So, you're spooked from from coming so close to death, especially from those things, but you'll recover. Well, Sigismund won't. He's going completely mad, but that's another story. It will take your vehicle, considering its speed, actually not all that long to get back to base. You're already probably halfway there. Anything you want to do aboard before you land? Like questions for Percival, for example, who looks like the first thing he's going to do is drink himself into a coma.
Desdemona might be wheeling on Carnimord at this point.
Wheeling? What?
She's pissed.
Oh, so you're like grinding your boot into his face while he's unconscious?
No,
Okay.
not exactly, but
She's turning me into a wheel and putting me on the landing gear.
Your punishment.
Basically, if he was awake, at least she would be.
I will point out that Carnimord, this is his ship, like in all ways.
Yeah.
So, although he might have been running to go find it faster and get the cavalry here, I mean, this is his cavalry.
Doesn't matter. He fled the battle.
True. And
you'll have to wait till he's awake to either grill or
shoot him now.
Yeah, what's stopping you from shooting him now?
Sigismund?
Sisters of Battle don't.
You should have seen that coming when I bought a hoverboard.
Kind of, yeah. Sisters of Battle don't really approve of people running for it. Sigismund's opinion is, I want my mother.
Yeah.
Which, if you're curious, he believes that to be some sort of large grappling arm that pulled his clone body out of somewhere. Or something similar to it. He's not actually 100% sure about that. Hive cities are weird. Moving on.
He lives until she can find another navigator.
That is kind of the other thing. Percival quietly tries to locate like an emergency stash of booze on the ship and fails to find one. Because if navigators start drinking, we're all doomed. And unless you have something to ask Percival...
Yeah, what's up with you and the giant eagles, man?
Fuck them, they killed my father. And, you know, they kill around 200 people a year in the air. You know, they just take whole planes of people and just eat them out of it. They're fucked up.
I don't recall that being in the movie, but okay.
Just because you didn't see it, I mean, it didn't happen.
He's deliberately crossing his fictions.
From heavy metal.
Don't worry about it. It's just a long overdue reference. But in seriousness, yeah, in seriousness, if you have a question for Percival about anything that happened, now's the time, because it's unlikely he's going to be anywhere. Sorry, it's unlikely he's going to want to be anywhere near you guys after this, beyond get his money and go.
Yep.
Which you still owe him, even though you didn't get anything.
Yeah, well, as soon as we're in the safety of a hangar.
He's aware. I'm just saying now's the time to question him before he demands his money and fucks off.
I don't think Desmond wants anything more to do with him because she kind of considers him incompetent that she allowed it to happen like this.
You brought us into a death world and had us attacked by monsters. What kind of incompetent guide are you? And his response is, the place is chock full of them. You were hunting them. At what point in the contract does it say avoid the wildlife?
Fair point, good sir. I believe we should have negotiated your payment. Yeah, we ought to have negotiated his payment properly before setting off into the wilderness, but...
He scowls. I was supposed to get part of your take, what you brought back. And you brought back all of jack shit.
Well, then you get nothing.
Thing is, I don't know how this works. Just because you lack the normal funds don't mean I don't get paid. It just means you got to pay me some other manner.
Well, good sir, I do believe the understanding was that you were to be our guide and assist us in this.
I guided you towards the creatures. I assisted you when there was time to hunt. You imbeciles drove your thing up to the creatures' faces without even talking to me, and got rammed and talked over. You're the one who brought this hunk of junk we had to abandon in the swamp, and had me turn into the swamp to begin with.
I pay you in your life. Take it.
You don't want to start that with me, girlie. You don't want to start that with me. Between Joanna and me, you're the one who's going to lose that one.
Please, Desmond, I'm sure that we could find a reasonable arrangement with the good hunter.
Here's something reasonable. You pay me for, letting, dragging your asses out of there alive. Because, had you gone out alone and that thing got wrecked out there in the plains, yeah, you'd be bar cigar food if you're lucky.
You would not have lived through this without us.
Yeah, I would have been able to get away. I wouldn't even been in this situation. And even if I was, I still would have lived. Mostly because I wouldn't be dragging that hunk of metal behind me.
So, good sir, as I understand that you live in a debt-based loan economy.
No, I live in a subsect of that economy where you pay me to not hunt you down like a wild doe and shoot you in the back of the head. So you pay me now, or a women land, fair enough.
So you're saying you are not willing to buy from us this here contract that is worth, in world expression of 2 profit factor?
He considers it for a while, and he does look it over for a bit. Are you attempting to... Well, this is technically a barter check no matter how we wrangle this, so roll your barter check.
Okay. This is versus 100.
Fuck you and your retarded high barter check. Fine, that's a lot of degrees of success. Yes, he'll willing to accept the equivalent of 2 profit factor in exchange for not being pissed off at you and putting in a bad word at the Hunters Guild.
And the contract in question is the remaining hunt down, get these body parts from creatures out in the wilderness. Basically, I'm offering him 100% of the contract that we were just out there trying to collect, instead of, giving him a percentage of it.
Right. Actually, he would accept that fair, because getting a contract like that is actually worth something in and of its own. So yes.
And I'll just make sure that it is not merely handing off those, but also hide somewhere in the small print that he is actually also taking on the fact that this stuff has to go to the good doctor.
Fair enough. If he If he's been swindled in some way or form, I'm assuming you hope he doesn't figure it out, and if he does, you're off planet and or in your ship.
Yep. Do you need a deceive check in order to keep him off the scent until we're apart from
100.
him? Actually, my deceive DC is only 90.
Exactly, you can roll 100. So, okay, you don't fail, you succeed by 1 billion, and he does not have a high enough int to even pretend to play on this ball field with you. Like, he could play on the ball field with an average Joe, but with you, You're the person who swindled this planet of its resources. He's not on the right level. So, he will accept your contract that is owed to another person. Yes, he will buy your debt from you. Moving on. At that point, the ship lands back in the dock. He basically takes the bushwhacker out of it and drives off, grumbling the whole way.
You're back. I can't put a crack grenade in there?
You could, but if he survives, you're in trouble. Actually, even if he doesn't survive, you're still in trouble.
Just wait till he gets a distance from the ship, and then fire the missiles
his
at
ass
him.
for this? It's kind of your guys' fault.
Because he's a jackass.
He is a jackass. What's your point? You're a jackass.
No, I saved him.
Not really. At no point did you saved yourself and your friends. He was fine. He wasn't even hit that whole fight.
Like nothing attacked him.
2 of them did. No, wait. 1 did for 2 turns, then 2 of them took a swipe at him. So, yeah, he got swung at. Not as much as you, I'll give you that, but he was swung at. That's funny, Wombat. Alright, so what are we going to do about the bleeding, almost corpse covered in swamp goo? Into the trash compactor he goes.
Well, Desimo's not a medic, and he kind of deserves it. I kind of don't want to.
I think now would be a good time to return to the spaceship for some.
What are you going to do with the corpse, okay? Carnivore's kind of laying there, mostly dead, still bleeding.
Obviously we need to get him medical care, but...
Send him to the Space Marine.
Oh, that'll end well.
The apothecary?
Yep.
Well, he is a sanctioned mutant.
He's not wrong.
Of all the people on planet that could save him from something, is the person.
True. He almost guaranteed could.
Okay.
Question is twofold. How are you going to meet with him? Because that's not always easy. 2, how are you going to convince him to do it? Out of the kindness of his heart isn't a guaranteed thing. Even for a Blood Angel.
And we can't bring our best negotiator.
Yeah, your best negotiator might end up with problems.
Bullet holes.
Though doesn't have a feeling at this point that he might not end up with bullet holes, but...
This guy uses a chainsaw, bullet holes and nothing.
Just make him roll around in brown paint and say he's a black guy.
No.
That won't work either at all, ever.
This is a guy who sees through your soul without the benefit of an auger array. We can't trick him point blank.
Also, I've never seen any kind of Warhammer stuff where there are... Why are there basically no people of any other races in this setting?
Oh, there are. The reason everyone's so white, though, is not because white people dominate. No. It's because most people live in hive cities, and that's hundreds, sometimes thousands of years of people living in essentially next to no light. Skin pigmentation basically changes after enough time, and they have enough time in those holes. The only brown and darker skinned people are those that actually ended up growing up / evolving on desert planets, jungle planets, and so on. You'll see them there. If you look at the
various codices.
Yeah, no, it's there's a certain kind of unit. It's basically the Rambo unit. Those guys are almost always
fighters.
Yeah, they're almost always of a darker skin pigmentation. It's the hive worlders, the vast majority of humanity who's just pale shits because they live in holes in the ground. That's all that is. It's not, it's just, if everyone lives in caves.
Well, that's a Thermian argument.
Well, they literally have, like, it's the 41st century, and it's been like 10,000 years since the invention. I don't know, it's been way longer than that.
It's
been like,
the future. It can be whatever the writers want it to be.
okay, go with his argument. I'm just saying it's been lots of years. Some Space Marines are actually over 1,000 years old. Anyway.
Yes.
Which is about the same amount of period for the next Sisters of Battle Codex.
Yes, it is. Right. It's actually close to our usual stopping time if we want to stop here. It's a fairly good point. Is there anything you want to do besides? I guess you can't really get to the apothecary unless someone has a brilliant plan right now, because it's.
Let's figure out. Let's figure out what to do with what to do from us
here?
Being parked in the shuttle bay, having dropped off McLeach.
Yeah, I'd like to figure out what at least are we taking downtime between? That's the thing we should figure out right this second. Because then we can do the downtime healing and stuff outside of session.
Unless you want to buy something or negotiate a contract with someone or something, there's no reason to say you can't take downtime and just figure it out over the course of a couple days. He's clearly alive. Now, a doctor would say, A, he shouldn't be, and B, he's probably dying in the process of, but you're in the future and you can fix just about everything. So waiting a couple days will not kill him. In fact, if anything, he'll gain a wound back or something.
And besides, playing through downtime is not that exhaustive of a thing in this rule set.
Yeah,
so.
not really.
Mostly it's how many wounds you get back, and do you guys make a contract with anyone?
Yeah. So I think it might be best to handle that next time.
Yeah, it'd be better to have Sigismund around
like
actually as a player too.
Yes.
So
yes,
especially Sigismund, because he's one of your few ins.
Yeah, he's our leader, so it's nice to have him around.
Usually. So, in this session, to conclude, Sigismund went further crazy and contributed nothing. Desdemona was incredibly badass in combat and finally got to shine in what she's really good at. Sketh helped. And Carnamord realized that sometimes running away, while usually the best answer, just leads to more Biakis. So maybe not do it every time. Or at least wait until they have all revealed themselves, then do it.
No, every time.
Every time. Only answer. Must do it.
I have learned nothing.
I refuse to learn. Do you get a bonus?
I have refused to learn. That's why I do refuse to learn. That's why I still don't know how degrees of success work.
Just saying, heroic activity.
To be fair to Desdemona, you did declare you were willing to, instead of have him be flown off by Biakis, to take everything they're willing to throw at you and just tank it. I will give you one restored fate. You don't get like a permanent extra one. You have
I got
a
to restore
temporary
one at the
extra
start of next session. So
yeah, essentially, you have one semi-bonus one. Basically, you have a get out of jail free card. You get one extra fate point. It's not permanent. You're not gonna get it every time. Just next session, you'll have one. Okay.
Okay.
Because you did take it for him, but then it was kind of a mechanical thing. Like it wasn't. Yeah, I can't give you a full one. I can, however, give you guys all 750 XP each for living through that hell.
Yay.
And how much insanity did he take?
3.
3.
I have it written down here as well, so just in case. Which is not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, how much insanity did I get?
You? I don't know if you got any.
Well, I failed my rolls.
Did you fail the fear? No, you passed the fear one. When they were up close in your face. You got critically hit, and that was all critically damaged. Sorry.
Yeah, I failed the post-combat one.
Oh yeah, no, no one. I said no one here rolled crap enough to have any ill effects that weren't just short term.
Okay.
Nothing's going to happen on the fly there to where a -10 on tests is going to mean anything. Even Mr. Bullshit Barter Man. Mostly because he has 100. So what am I going to do about that?
Does anyone happen to have our total experience so I can double check something?
I have that at 1 second.
Not including the starter experience, I have 2,500.
Okay. Not counting the initial 5,000, I
Yeah.
have 4,200. $500, 500, 750, 600, 500, 600, 750.
Wasn't the initial 5,500 on the initial?
5,000 initially. Because it's 4,500 and then you get to your level 0 choices. Well, your level 1 choices, basically. The things that get you to rank 1 from being a bum on the street is 500 worth of choices. So total of 5,000 starting XP.
So 4,200 is what you said?
Yep, so you should have...
Okay, that's the same.
You should have 9,200 total.
Okay, that's the same numbers I've got. Cool.
That's weird. I have mine marked. I have 1,700 spent and 800 unspent. So, no.
Yeah, I think what happened is that I didn't edit my sheet for the number of experience I spent last time. So.
Right. Brad, unless you only started counting after session 4, you should have a total of 9,200. Pardon me. Of which 4,700 is choices you can make at your discretion. So it includes your starting choices.
No, I probably just didn't mark it when I spent it.
Okay. So I shall see you all next week for continued adventures in strange biology.
And explosives.
I think after this, I don't think any one of you are ever going to go out into the forest again. On
No,
the off
screw
chance
this
you do. Yeah, I think I can mark hunting the wild creatures of the death world off the list of possible things you want to do for currency.
See the
Let's go
universe.
mine.
Get eaten by interesting creatures.
We
Since
need
it
at
never did
least
come
2
up, and
more
apparently
of
you
me.
expressed zero interest in the wildlife, those things come from space, and I mean that very literally. They literally fly through space from planet to planet and put up colonies, so they can literally go fast enough and survive in space to jump from planet to planet. That's why they're so fucking fast. They can just...
Well, I reckon an atmosphere gives them a little bit of hindrance, but sure.
Some, but compared to the fact they can go almost as fast as your starship outside the warp, yeah, they can do pretty good. And none of what they do is natural. Obviously, it's just that's how they work. And the only reason you caught so many is because you were really unlucky on the navigation roll on his end. He almost drove you through the damn center of one of their little hive things. Anyway. Right, so I'm surprised you didn't all die. Only one of you almost died, and it was the guy who ran off, who I expected to actually live. Or at least live the most.
Fire!
So good job. Good job on Desdemona especially. Despite being... Well, you're the most combat-worthy here, but you're not exactly a space marine. You are a sister of battle, and have proved it this day with all the flamers that ever existed ever.
Fire.
You are so happy. Well, I hope you take that joy and hold it close, because it's not going to come up that often.
My next character will be 4 children who found a space marine costume and piled inside of it.
Oh,
so the apothecary.
The apothecary will kill you for your heresy, and then Desdemona will. And then the commissar will, and we'll just go down the line of people killing you.
Have a good one, everybody.
Have a great one. Nice session.
Nice.
See you guys next week.